bhaktir bhavati naistikim.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, dear devotees, we will be reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila first chapter, text 103 to 1012, and that will end the first chapter. Hare Krishna. Seidi Prabhura Kari Charana Vandana Yana Haite Vigna Nasha Abhishta Purana.
Ei dui prabhu kari charana vandan, yaha hai te vigna nasa abhishta purna.
Say, these we two, Prabhura of the Lords, Kari I do, Charana feet, Vandana obeisance, Yana Haite from which Vignanasha destruction of obstacles, Abhishta Purana fulfillment of desires. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
My car, whether from the park and ride or somewhere, right? Wherever I'm driving.
Yeah. Please unmute.
10 minutes after I start driving, I'll think for a minute. I brought the.
Sorry about that. Let us therefore worship the holy feet of these two lords. Thus, one can be rid of all difficulties on the path of self-realization. Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, we'll chant the Mangalacharan prayer. This is the prayer invoking auspiciousness, and it is customary that whenever you are the opportunity to do seva, share Krishna consciousness, and you're on the Vyasasana, before you begin speaking, you must offer your respects to the Guru Parampara and all the way to Krishna. So it's Krishna and his devotees. We are offering our gratitude and seeking their blessings, and specifically pranam to them, my humble obeisances, that whatever I share is whatever I have heard based on Guru Sadhu Shastra. If you know the prayer, please chant alongside with me. Hare Krishna. Om Agnyantamirantasya
Radhasya jnana
Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai
tasmai Sri Gurave Namah.
Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam
Anyamanomistam apitam ena bhutale
Kadamayam
ayam rupa
Padantikam
padantikam
Vandeham
vande
Sri Guru
Sri
Sri
Sita Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavascha
Shri Rupam
Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatha Vintam Tam Sajivam
Advaitam
Tam
Savadu
Swadam Parijana Sahitam
Krishna Chaitanya
Krishna
Devam
Chaitanya Devam
Nitha Krishna
Krishna
Pada
Padan
Sagana
Sagana Lalita Sri
Vishakha
Vikas
He Krishna Karuna Sindhu
Karuna Sindhu Dhanabindinabandho
Gopesha
Jagatpate
Gopika Kanta Radha Kantam
Dakant
Te
Astu
Rapta Kanchan
Kanchan Gaurangi
Radhe
Radhe
Vrinda
Vrindavaneshwari
Krishna Bhanu
Vishapanu
Suti
Sute Devi Pranami Hari Priye
Chakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha
Vacha
Anam Paramubhya
Patidanam Vaishnavyo Namo Namah
Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale
Bhutale
Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine
Namine
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine
Pracharani
Shesha
Nirvishesh Navadi
Shatya Desha
Prasadya Se Dharini
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Nityananda
Advaita
Sri
Gadadhar
Advaita
Srivasadi
Sri
Gaura
Prasadi Gauri Bhakta
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Rama
Hare
Hare Rama
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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So welcome to today evening's class on Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we'll be concluding chapter 1. We'll go through these verses, 9 to 10 verses. Each one we'll speak a little bit on that, and then we will do the summarization of the entire chapter 1 of Adi Leela. Hare Krishna. So here, 103, it says, let's worship the holy feet of these two lords. Who are the two lords? That is Shri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda.
Nityanand Prabhu.
Correct. So they are none other than Krishna and Balram. So worship the holy feet. Now, what is the significance of worshipping the feet? After all, we know that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and of course Nityanand, Balram is his expansion. No difference between Krishna and Lord Balrama. So, there, in the absolute sense, we learn that, for example, their eyes. They can eat with their eyes. They can smell with their ears. So our particular organs are for a specific purpose. So, for example, our feet are meant for walking, correct? Or running, whatever. It will take us from one place to another place. But with Krishna, he can even eat with his feet. So then, why is it said, why not worship his fingernails, or why not worship his lotus lips? Why not worship his face? Why? Why is it saying that we should worship the feet of the two lords? It's very important instruction here, dear devotees, that feet is considered, if you see, the lowest part of the body. Correct? In the anatomy, the head face is up and the feet is all the way down. So when we are, even when you take darshan, you start with the feet. You don't directly look up at the face. You go with the feet because that inculcates in us the bhava, the mood of humility, that we are coming from your feet. Correct? That is our position. We are like a tiny atomic speck on the dust of their lotus feet. Hare Krishna. So, when we are worshipping these holy feet, all the difficulties on path of self-realization is vanquished. Now, you know that especially those who come from the um, Vedic culture from India, Lord Ganesha is the favorite demigod for millions and millions and millions of people. Why? Ganesha is also known as Vignesh, correct? Why? Because he is very easily pleased and he also removes all obstacles. He's very, very auspicious. He removes all the obstacles. So people worship Lord Ganesha. Before starting anything, they say, Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. They say a small little prayer to Lord Ganesha. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Because he is the Vignesh. He removes all the obstacles. Correct? But if you understand in Brahma Samhita, where does Ganesha get that power of removing all the obstacles? He's a demigod. And we learn from the Shastras, from the scriptures, that the demigods are empowered jivas, jivas like you and me, we are living entities, the empowered jivas who are assigned a specific task. So the task of removing obstacles is Ganesha's. And how does he get it? He holds the feet, the two lotus feet of Vishnu, Krishna, he holds on the tumuli. Tumuli is the protrusion. So if you see the elephant head on the forehead, there are like these two bumps over here. And that is the place where he's holding the feet of Vishnu, and that's where he gets the empowerment. So, over here, when you're directly worshipping the holy feet of Krishna and Balram, of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, whatever difficulty on the path of self realization, anything is taken away. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, correct, that I preserve what my devotee has and I deliver what he lacks. So this is what we worship, why we worship the holy feet. And in worshiping the holy feet, what happens? What is the outcome? Of course, we do not worship to get anything in return, correct? But it's good to know that when we talk about removing difficulties on the path of self-realization. The holy feet of the Lord is what we should always be thinking of, what we should always be worshipping. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, if you can please, please mute yourself. Hare Krishna. Sorry about that. So, devotees, if you have any questions as we progress, please make yourself heard and we'll try to answer that, or if there's a realization. Hare Krishna. So we go to the next text. Now, Madhupati Prabhu's instructions is there are sometimes texts which don't have a purpose. So he says, read the shloka and the translation and move on to the next text. So we'll do it like that. E dui shloke kaile mangala vandana tritiya shlokera arthashuna sarvajana. I have invoked the benediction of the Lords with these two verses, texts 1 and 2 of this chapter. Now, please hear attentively the purport of the third verse. So, invoke the benediction. Similarly, when we chanted the Mangala Charan prayer, we are invoking the benediction, we are invoking the grace, we are begging for that mercy. Correct? So, before we start anything, like as I mentioned, the Mangala Charan prayers which we do, you always seek the blessings of Krishna Balram, of Chaitanya, and Lord Nityananda. Of course, this very same representation is the Guru Varga, the Guru Parampara. So even when we take these, for those who are initiated, and you take the benediction before starting anything, you say a prayer to your Guru Maharaj, to Srila Prabhupada, it's as good as taking the benediction of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. So that is what benediction is. So now Krishnadas Kaviraj says, please hear attentively the purport of the third verse. Hare Krishna. Bhaktavya Bahulya Grantha Vistere Radhare Vistarena Varni Sara Kahi Alpakshare.
Alpakshari.
I purposely avoid extensive description for fear of increasing the bulk of this book. I shall describe the essence as concisely as possible. Very, very important instruction. And the next one will explain why. Now you see, Krishna is unlimited. He's Ananta, unlimited, unlimited. And one can go on and on and on and on. A self-realized person can go on and on and on and on about descriptions of Krishna. It would never end because of our conditioning, correct? We have such small attention span. It would just go over our head. So it is made condensed, concise. So that is what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying. I am avoiding these descriptions extensive because it will make it such a big book. Okay, so I will try to explain it as briefly as possible, just the essence and not much in the detail. Hare Krishna. And then here is the very, very important instruction. Mitam cha saram cha vacho hi vagmita iti. This Prabhupada also has said many a times. Essential truth spoken concisely is true eloquence. What is eloquence? The ability to speak very well, clearly, communicate so that the other person is able to understand. So, when we are talking, it is whenever truth has to be spoken very, very briefly and concisely. Typically, what can happen is because of our propensity to talk, correct? We may go on and on and on and on and on. In fact, even in just the mundane material matters, they say always keep it simple and sweet. It's called the KISS principle, KISS. Keep it simple and sweet. Keep it brief. So much so that you have even the formal, for example, presentations that are there in the corporate world. There was this Apple founder, Steve Jobs. Prabhu is no more. In fact, Steve Jobs used to visit the Hare Krishna temple, and he ate a lot of prasadam there before he was, became a billionaire and very, very famous. When he was just a young man, he used to go to the uh, California Hare Krishna temple. So Steve Jobs was a great, great communicator and a great marketer. And his principle is when you're making a presentation, you should keep it to 4, maybe 5 slides maximum. He says anything over that, people are lost. People don't follow what you're saying. So, similarly, over here, the instruction, dear devotees, is that when we are sharing Krishna conscious with people, whether it is a devotee Sangha or whether it is new people, especially with newcomers, then it has to be very, very brief. It has to, the essential truth has to be spoken, and it has to be spoken very briefly. Otherwise, it just goes over people's head and people switch off. Out of respect, they will politely um, be there, but consciously they are switched off and they are elsewhere. So, essential truth spoken concisely is true eloquence. Hare Krishna. Shunile Khandibe Chitera Ajnana Dosha Krishna Gadha Prema Habe Paibe Santosha. Simply hearing submissively will free one's heart from all the faults of ignorance, and thus one will achieve deep love for Krishna. This is the path of peace. So, what Krishnadas Kaviraja is saying that when we listen to topics of spirituality, when we listen about Krishna's devotees, whatever be the scripture, Ishopanishad, whether it is Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya, whatever be the scripture, doesn't matter. Hearing submissively, how does one hear submissively? One benchmark of submissive hearing is how much we get absorbed. Submission means what? Submission means where whatever this mind is, correct? The mind is chanchal, it is always jumping here and there. We are sitting in the class, but whilst we are sitting in the class, correct, we may be multitasking, excuse me, doing something else. Maybe we are honoring prasadam or something else that is going on. Doesn't matter. So when we are hearing, our attention is partially on what is being said. And maybe certain key words or key phrases will again attract attention. Oh, what is it? Okay, that way. But when we say submissive hearing is proportionate, the submissiveness is proportionate to the attention and absorption with which we are hearing, which means that we submit this mind to what is being said. Romapad Maharaj had given a very nice tip for doing japa, especially while doing japa. When you're doing japa, you're supposed to hear Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But those who do japa, easier said than done. It is so difficult just even to do a simple thing like hearing. Maybe after one beat, twice, thrice, 4 times, then the mind runs somewhere. The sound is coming out, but the attention is not there. So Romapad Maharaja said, while doing japa, japa should be on the mind and the mind. Japa should be in the mind and the mind on japa. Japa on mind, mind on in japa. That way. So that is fully, and of course, there will be other things, distractions come, push it away. Radhanath Swami says, who is a Goswami and who is a Gotas? Swami means someone who is a controller, a master. Das is the servant. Go means senses. Typically, we say Goswami means, the orange cloth, a sannyasi who has taken the path of renunciation. Yes, they are Goswamis. Through practice, through knowledge, they have learned to get detached from material things and attached to spiritual things. Goswami. But that opportunity is there even for anybody in any ashram, whether he's a brahmachari, whether he's a grasti, vanaprastha, doesn't matter. What it means, Goswami. Goswami is there will be, it's not that the sannyasis and the maharajas don't get distraction and don't get temptations, and all thoughts of minds don't creep in their thoughts don't creep in their mind. That's the nature of the mind. But they have learned to say no. And the more we say no, the more we say no to the impulses of the mind, the better off we are, the better we are able to control the mind. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, he who can control, correct, the mind is extremely powerful. He who can control the mind, it is his best friend. But if you're controlled by the mind becomes your worst enemy. Hare Krishna. So what happens is when we hear submissively, whatever are these anarthas that we have in that, correct, gets washed away. And the deep love of Krishna, which is there within all of us, is revealed. This sentence also, this is the path of peace. There are many artificial means in which people are making peace. In fact, the whole concept of United Nations is everyone got together and said, okay, rather than us all fighting and doing this, that, let's get together and for common interest that we're doing. But as long as we talk about common interest, that common interest is only temporary. Friends become enemies, enemies become friends. Like they say in politics, there are no permanent friends or enemies because priorities and things change, correct? Agendas change. So the only way to peace is by having Krishna in the center, when everyone's purpose is to serve the Lord, to serve God, then there can be unity, then there can be peace. Hare Krishna. Text 108 and 109. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Mahatva Tanra Bhakta Bhakti Nama Prema Rasa Tattva Bhinna Bhinna Likhiya Chikariya Vichara Shunile Jani Besabha Vastu Tattva Sara. If one patiently hears the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityanand Prabhu and Sri Advaita Prabhu and their devotees, devotional activities, name and fame, along with the mellows of their transcendental loving exchanges, one will learn the essence of the absolute truth. Therefore, I have described these in Chaitanya Charitamrita with logic and discrimination. So, what we have here, dear devotees, what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is giving us. Um, Prabhupada's storefront was the matchless gift. That gift there, you cannot compare it with anything. It has, it's it's so valuable that you cannot even put a value on it. What value would you be able to put on this? So here's what it is, what the essence of the absolute truth, what the essence of us, Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera Ditya Das, the essence of the living entity is to serve. What is the essence of that absolute truth? That is what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is giving in Chaitanya Charitamrita. We will discuss in the summary what this essence is. And he's giving it with logic and discrimination, meaning to say any reasonable person will be able to appreciate and accept it using the intelligence. Using the intelligence. Another very important point to note, dear devotees, is Prabhupada had said, surrender with intelligence. Do not surrender your intelligence. So when we're on the path, we are sadhakas on the path of spirituality, it is very important to make use of the intelligence. Intelligence is the one which will be able to discriminate yes or no, yes, no, whatever there is. So this discrimination is very important. Otherwise, we can be fooled. Otherwise, we can become fanatics. There are so many people. There was long back a magazine, an article, I think it was in Newsweek or Times. Are humans hardwired to believe in God? And they were trying to do some scientific studies. They were looking at the brain waves of these monks when they are in meditation and things like that, whatever it was. So, is everyone intrinsically uh, programmed, so to say, genetically? They were looking at it on the physical aspect. Of course, we know that everyone, whoever he be, any jiva, is part and parcel of Krishna. So naturally, you are hardwired to Krishna, but they were doing it on a physical plane. So from that aspect, what they were looking at, is someone hardwired. So people have instinctively, when anything topic about spirituality is there, people instinctively gravitate towards it. They may not understand it, but they instinctively go towards it. And because of this, not knowing enough, not having proper knowledge, they get exploited. Everything in the name of religion. So if you see through history, religion has exploited the people, not religion. The religious persons have exploited the masses. And there was a very famous saying, I forget who said it, religion is the opiate of the masses. It makes them, into um, intoxicated. It lulls them away from reality. That's because surrendering without making use of the intelligence. Oh, God has said means okay, fine. God has said means that's it. Okay, but if God has said this, how do you know God has said this? So it is very important, dear devotees. Knowledge is very, very important. From whom you get that knowledge? You get that knowledge not just from someone who's doing prachar, but you also need to see his achar. That guru has to be a disciple first in the disciplic succession, correct? And whatever he's preaching, whatever he's teaching, he's also putting it into practice himself. Hare Krishna. So if the Guru says chant 16 rounds, he himself is chanting 16 rounds. The Guru says vow of four regulative principles, he himself is following that. It's not a different rule set for you and a different rule for me and a different rule for somebody else. Hare Krishna. Text 110. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padayara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Purport. Thus end the Bhagavad Bhakti Vedanta purports to Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila first chapter, describing the spiritual masters. Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, this topic, this chapter, is titled The Spiritual Masters. So, we will summarize. And of course, if someone has, any questions or um, uh, you would have any thought or a realization, please make yourself heard. Hare Krishna. So, the what Chaitanya Charitamrita does is um, it's a platform, correct? It's a platform on the life and teachings of Mahaprabhu, correct? And what this particular, it starts off with the spiritual master. So it doesn't straight away dive. Remember, we spoke about going from the feet and then all the way upwards. So it starts with the spiritual masters. So there is the invocation. Invocation means like a call out, correct? A call out. So first is the invocation and purpose. Why? What is it calling out to? And what is the purpose behind it? So the Mangala Charana, the auspicious invocation. We hear this word, dear devotees, auspicious, auspicious, auspicious. What is the meaning of auspicious? Now we have some idea of what is auspicious. Oh, auspicious is a nice thing, you know, and the opposite of auspicious is inauspicious. So in Hindi, there is a word which says panvati, like there's panvati, and there is auspicious, which is shubha. Yeah, auspicious, inauspicious. But what auspicious really means is that thing which paves the way, which makes the path for success of whatever endeavor we're trying to do. So auspicious, so they have muhurat, auspicious muhurat. So if you do something in this time, the result will be fruitful, right? So similarly, Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Kavidas, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, before starting it, he invoked the Mangala Charan, seeking the benediction, the mercy of the Guru Parampara. And he offered the prayers to the spiritual masters. Why? Because when we do that, it paves a fruitful outcome. Hare Krishna. Then what is the purpose of this? The purpose is to glorify, of course, Lord Chaitanya, who is the combined Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Krishna, Radha and Krishna, one and the same, is in one form. Right now, there are two entities. Actually, Radha and Krishna are one. It's explained that, the lotus stem is one, and then it branches into two, correct? So, this two branching out into two is Radha and Krishna. Krishna is the enjoyer, and Radha is the one who gives all the enjoyment. So this is Radha and Krishna. And then they come together as one, as Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna. And what was the purpose? He came here for the Yuga Dharma, Kal Yuga. What is the Yuga Dharma? It is Harinam, chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna. And then he goes on to explain that there are three categories of spiritual master. One is the Adi Guru. Adi Guru is Sri Nityananda. Sri Nityananda, Adi, the first, the original. He is the one who reveals who Krishna is. A person who tells you about Krishna, and telling you about Krishna tells you about yourself. You know yourself, self realization. In understanding the self, we can understand Krishna. So, the person who makes it possible is the Guru. So, the original person, where did it start from? It started from Lord Nityananda. So, he's the original spiritual master. Then there is the Diksha Guru. So, Diksha Guru is one who initiates a serious student on the path of spirituality. Why initiation? Why do you need initiation? Correct? After all, it is a function of your consciousness, above all these bodily things which is there. Initiation is very, very important because the conditioning of our mind, the material conditioning that we have, very, very fickle we are, here today, gone tomorrow, something else will come. So, initiation is a commitment, a formal commitment that we make that yes, I am a student on the path of spirituality, on the path of bhakti, I am a sadhaka, and there are these do's and don'ts that I promise to follow for the rest of my life. These are the vows you need to take. Just like, some of us are married, we took marriage vows. Those who were uh, born in a Hindu family, there is that formal ceremony. You take 7 rounds around the sacred fire. Then, even you go to the court and you get yourself registered. The marriage is done in front of a magistrate. You take your vows. Those who are in the Christian faith, they take the vows in church, and till death do us apart. The priest blesses and sanctifies the union. So this is what the Diksha Guru. We take a vow, correct? So these vows, the initiation is when we take the vows, and it shows a level of commitment and seriousness. Till such time, Madhupati Prabhu in long back was giving this example. Um, he said, look at the mercy of the Guru Parampara, Krishna's mercy coming through the Guru Parampara. It's like a big powerhouse. And just as we get electricity in a house, the electricity is generated somewhere else, but it's coming to us through all these electric lines, correct? And finally, it comes into your house. There's that plug point over there. So he says that when we take these vows, correct? When we take initiation, it's like you get plugged into that and you get direct connection to that mercy. So through your guru, through Prabhupada, through his guru, that's how the current, that mercy, you get connected directly to that mercy. So that is the significance, the second part of, why initiation. And then the third type of guru, dear devotees, is the Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru is one who gives you instructions. Of course, even Diksha Guru gives you instruction. The purpose of the Guru is to facilitate, to make you realize who you are, make you understand who Krishna is, what is your relationship, and how to engage in that relationship and bring you closer and closer and closer towards Krishna. That is what a guru does, correct? Similarly, the Siksha Guru, he also gives instructions. Now, Diksha Guru is one, but Shiksha Guru can be many. Now, it doesn't mean anyone and everyone can be a Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru is when that person tells you something, you submit to that person. Of course, we have many, many instructions, in this Vaishnav Sangha. We have a question, we have a doubt, we ask questions, we get answers. Yes, but when the Shiksha Guru is someone you respect and revere as your initiating Guru, as you would respect Srila Prabhupada, you cannot say that, oh, we are the same age or we joined Hare Krishna on this path together. He's more advanced, he knows more than me. No, the Shiksha Guru is respected, is to be given the same level of respect as your Gurudev, those who have taken initiation. And when he makes an instruction, when he makes a suggestion, you don't uh, you follow it through. You don't doable fable. Oh, okay, it was a nice thing to know. Intellectually I understood it. Now all gurus are one. What does this mean? When we say all gurus are one, does it mean they've all merged into each other? Does it mean it's a Brahmavad philosophy? No, that's not the Mayavadi philosophy that everything is one. I'm God, you're God, cat is dog, dog is God, everyone God, God, God. Anything which is form is all false. No, it's not what it means. It means that whatever is that essence, there won't be any deviation. Everyone will be doing the same thing, everyone will be speaking the same thing. Hare Krishna, that is what it means that Guru is one. He is one with sadhu and Shastra. Shastra is the word of God. It's the law book, correct? So whatever is there in the Shastra, the Guru will be speaking from the Shastra, and sadhus are persons, self-realized souls, correct? Whatever there, they also. So the Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, they're always congruent. There's never any discrepancy over there. Hare Krishna. Then it also talks about who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We just discussed this a little bit. He is Srimati Radharani, and there's a beautiful story. It is 15 minutes more, so we won't have time to go the Pili Pokhran pastime. So maybe if you're interested, when we meet next Sunday temple program, please, I would like to share it with you. So we'll keep it for some other time. Like how Krishna becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how Sham Sundar, the dark rain cloud, the complexion, how he becomes Gaura Sundar. There's a very sweet pastime, Pili Pokhran pastime. So we'll share that later. So he's none other than Radharani. And here it says that he's the supreme enjoyer. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. And the supreme devotee, the servitor, is Radharani. So combined, Krishna and Radha is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then it also gives explanations about who the Panch Tattva is. So the Panch question, who all are there on the call? Would someone who hasn't before um, share? Let's see. Um, don't worry about right answer, wrong answer. Bapaya Prabhu, Balram, please forgive me, I forget your initiated name. Uh, could you tell Balram?
Balram Parmeshwar.
Ah, if you could you share with everybody who the Panch Tattva is?
Panchtattva is Sri Advaita Gatadhara, Sri Vasadi, Gauravan.
Yes. Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Maha-
Prabhu Nityananda.
Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gatadhara, Vasadi Gauravan.
5.
Five.
So, in a temple, if you see below the Gaurnithai deities, there are the 5 deities, correct? That's what it is. So, when you're looking at the deity, the person in the middle is Shri Krishna Chaitanya. That is Krishna in Radharani's mood. Then, next, if you're looking, you move immediately to the left side, that is to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's right, is Lord Nityananda. He is the Adi Guru, Balram. Correct? We spoke about this. Then to Nityanand Prabhu's right is Advaita Charya. Advaita Charya is the incarnation of Sadashiv and Mahavishnu. Lord Shiva comes from Sadashiv. So Sadashiv and Mahavishnu is Advaitacharya. And then on Mahaprabhu's left-hand side is Gadadhar Pandit. He is the Hladni Shakti, the incarnation of Radha Rani. And then there is Shrivas Thakur, a pure devotee. So Shrivas Thakur is the um, representation of all the pure devotees, that is Shrivas Thakur, and he is the incarnation of Narad Dev, Narad Muni. Hare Krishna. So this is the Pancha Tattva. Tattva is a Pancha means five. Tattva is a truth, the essential truth, or you can say the position. Um, that's the tattva. What is the reality? So this is the pancha tattva. So Krishna is always pancha tattva. Prabhupada had said that when they were doing painting, this when we see paintings of Krishna alone, sometimes you have this photos of Krishna alone, it is all speculation. Krishna is never alone. Krishna is always accompanied by his devotees. Krishna is never alone. He's always accompanied by his devotees. Hare Krishna. Then also this chapter, Spiritual Masters, talks about the mercy of the spiritual master. There is later on in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is one verse which says, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhaga Bhakti Lata Bija. Persons who have gone to the Brahmanda Brahmite, who have roamed through the entire material creation, the lower systems, planetary systems, and the higher planetary systems. As a jiva, we've been bouncing up and down. You have these children have that yo-yo. They play with that little round thing, it goes, and then they pull it back again. So like this, throughout the material universes, up and down, the jiva, countless lifetimes, we have been going up and down. Yeah. And through this up and down motion, the most fortunate person, Brahmanda Bhamite Kona Bhagyavana Jiva, the most fortunate Jiva is the one who gets the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Why? Because he gets the seed of bhakti, love of God, when you come in contact. So it is said through the mercy of Krishna, one gets a guru. When we are interested, we show interest, we show seriousness, we show enthusiasm to know more and more about spirituality. Krishna is the Chaitya Guru as Paramatma. He knows our intention. And then he makes the arrangement to who our guru would be. And then through the mercy of Krishna, you get the Guru, and then the Guru reveals the essential truth, and the Guru gives you Krishna. How beautiful this is. Through the mercy of Krishna, one gets a Guru, and through the mercy of Guru, one gets Krishna. So the mercy of the spiritual master, correct, is essential. In absence of mercy, there is absolutely no question of bhakti. We think bhakti is, oh, I'm chanting 16 rounds, oh, I'm doing Ekadashi, oh, I go to the temple, oh, I'm serving, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, Good, very good. But that's not enough. That's not enough. Mercy bhakti is causeless. It's not because we are doing something, and we should never ever feel that we're doing something. It is causeless. And that mercy is coming from the Guru Parampara system. And that is what empowers us to be recipients of that mercy. So one end is mercy is for the unqualified, the undeserving. That is what mercy is. Mercy is an expression of compassion. Yesterday, Prabhu was talking about Namo Mahavadanyaya, the most compassionate, the most kind avatar. Yeah, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, mercy is an expression of that compassion. Then the question is, why do we need to be doing all these things to be qualified? you know, Four regulator principles, don't do this, do that. So Romapad Maharaj had given a very nice analogy. He says, mercy is like sunshine, it is available for everybody. Sunshine doesn't discriminate whether you're a mlecha or whether you're a sadhu or whoever you are, it doesn't matter. Sunshine is there for everybody. It doesn't discriminate. The problem is we misused our free will, and instead of stepping out into the sunlight, we are sitting into a dark basement. That dark basement is our ignorance. That dark basement is that ahamta, mamata that we have. So that is why, and all this process, whatever we are doing, do's and don'ts, is like taking the stairs and climbing out of that basement and stepping out into the sunlight. And the guru, the Vaishnava, the devotees, the sadhu sangha, the association, and all these practices which we do is, they're holding our hands and bringing us out of that darkness. Hare Krishna. Then it also talks about the importance of chanting the holy name. Of course, this itself is a class. Forget a class, it's a lifetime. You could be talking and practicing about this, the chanting of the holy name. And it is the prescribed medicine for this Kali Yuga. Hare Krishna. And humility and surrender. So even when Krishnadas Kaviraj, when he Goswami was writing, he started off, he said that I'm really insignificant. Chaitanya Bhagavat has already been written. He's saying, what can I be writing over there? Hare Krishna, I'm totally unqualified. Of course, many a times we say, okay, I'm unqualified, um, but still with your blessings. Nice to say it, but to feel it actually. Yeah, he calls Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that I'm unqualified, yet I'm empowered by the blessings of spiritual masters and the Vaishnavas. See, again, without their blessings, nothing is possible on the path of devotional service. Nothing. Bhakti Tirth Maharaja says, in the instruction of the spiritual master comes along with it the empowerment to execute it. All it requires is a sincerity in following it. The more sincere we are, the more empowered we will get. Hare Krishna. Then there is the glories of the devotees. Devotees, who are the devotees? Devotees are again instruments of Krishna's mercy. Hare Krishna. And then finally, it talks of Lord Chaitanya as the deliverer. These past few verses towards the ending, like the sun and the moon have arisen to remove all the darkness of mankind. So this is what, dear devotees, is Adilila Chapter 1. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone has a question or a comment? Or we can bring it to a close. We have 10 minutes more.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, nice class. You have explained very well. In one class, we discuss about the Guru. There's a Chaitanya Guru, Chet Guru.
Chaitya Guru.
That we learn one more extra Guru.
Yeah, Chaitya Guru is the Guru who is
Sitting in our heart.
That is Krishna. That is the expansion of Krishna, Paramatma. So there is the Adi Guru, and the Chaitya Guru is the expansion, right? So you know how from Krishna there is Balram, then from Balram are the Chaturvyu expansions. And that's how the Paramatma, right? You have Mahavishnu, then you have the Shirodakshai, and then you have the Garbhodakshai and then the Shirodakshai. So the Paramatma who goes in every atom and who accompanies every jiva, that Paramatma is the Chaitya Guru. So he never abandons us, even when we turn our face away from Krishna, illusion. He's always with us. Excuse me, Mataji. So
God
that's
bless you.
Guru. Hare Krishna. Very good. If no one has a question, we'll bring it to a close. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Charitamrita ki jai. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Over to you, Simeshwar Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderfully summarized. Thank you, Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Jai Prabhupada. I think Sameshwar Prabhu must be busy. So we'll bring it to a close. We'll chant the Vaishnava prayer. Vancha
Sakalpatarusya kripa sindhu eva cha Vaishnavabhyo namo namo.
Vaishnavabhyo namo namo.
Ki Jai.
Jai. Jai.
Grantaraj Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai.
Jai.
La Prabhupada ki
Ki
Jai.
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 Bhakta ki Jai.
Jai.
Hari Hari Bol. Hari Hari Bol.
Everybody,
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare
Hari Hari.
Krishna.